Hello, Wellness Wednesdays community. Stephanie here, your host, and I cannot wait to share this conversation that I had with Justin Moore today. I'll just play the intro and let you listen. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wellness Wednesdays with Stephanie. I'm Stephanie Buckland, your host, and I am totally delighted and very, very excited to be interviewing Justin Moore from Agoge today. Justin, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So I'd love for you to give our audience a big introduction of who you are, what you're up to, and what kind of magic is showing up in the world as a result.
Yeah. My name's Justin Moore. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Agoge, a local startup based here in Chandler. I'm actually in the Chandler ASU Innovation Center here where our office is. We're incubated in here. We're also incubated with ASU's Cultivate Phoenix incubators. Um, Moved to Arizona last January of 2023 and to launch Agoge. And what we do is we created a hemp protein isolate. And so it's basically hemp protein without the smell and the taste of cannabis or hemp. Mixes easily with water. Completely organic, completely vegan. 5 ingredients in our protein powder. It's the easy on the stomach, no bubble gut. People who don't usually take protein powder, not the bodybuilder protein, which is like everybody else in the world. And of course, it's grown and sustainably because it's organic hemp, which they don't put pesticides, herbicides, uses significantly less water than the traditional plants and use all parts of the plant. So this protein just comes from the hemp seed and it's processed solventlessly. And so it mixes up well, tastes delicious. People love the beautiful colors and the flavors. You can see them behind me, the vanilla and the matcha. The matcha is the number one seller still. And we're just having a whole lot of fun doing this. I've got a big passion for sustainability and green products, and then health and wellness. And I'm a big gym rat and a yogi, and so just get to do what I want every day and have a lot of fun and talk to cool people. And so it's good. It's a trip.
That's so awesome. I remember when I met you, I just felt your energy and your spirit and that passion. Yeah, never see you without your Agoge shirt.
I got a
I
lot of them. I got a
honestly,
lot of them.
I've never seen you without it.
Stack of them. Yep.
And I think that is so awesome that you're able to represent that brand everywhere you go and just like really bring it to the community the way you're doing this. I love it. I'd love to hear a little bit more about the why. So, like, I hear you're a bodybuilder, a yogi, you love exercise, you probably have done protein powders for God knows how long, right? So, what led you to want to do this?
Yeah. It was a combination of a few things. I decided to go into hemp a few years ago in 2019. I had done some startups before. I left the tech startup at the end of 2018, and that's when the Farm Bill was signed and made industrial hemp federally legal. And so I started looking at different ways to get into hemp and wound up doing some consulting and spent several months working in a lab that was doing CBD extraction and learning all about hemp from a gentleman who had been in the Ukraine for a long time. And just learned about how versatile it was. And then after leaving that place, decided that, the hemp protein, if done correctly, could be huge. And so it's taken a few years, to get the USDA certified organic, to find the right group to do the right type of processing, all the hurdles that hemp had in its past that we've overcome. So now we bank, just like with FDIC, we just use Square, we use Shopify. We even have a large grant coming from a local major city through a local major university to cover a study. That's going to be pretty cool to talk about. And so that's all going to be pretty sweet. Um, Lots and lots and lots of exciting things. And so plus the feedback's just been fantastic. And being local here in Arizona, it's really been great for, the health and wellness market, right? So we've got a lot of the people that's top of mind here. So it's a very, blessing to be here in this area.
That's awesome. It's been really great getting to know you, and just to see you develop over the last year has been so cool. So, what can you tell me about hemp and like the struggles that we've had? I know, like personally, I'm a cannabis advocate big time because I know that it can help a lot of people. And so I've done a lot of research and I know that there's a whole lot of stigma about cannabis. And unfortunately, hemp kind of got sucked into that because it's a similar plant. It's not even the same plant, but it's similar enough in its DNA, right? So, like, why hemp? Why not hemp? And why not CBD?
Hmm. So, why hemp and why not hemp? And so CBD is a molecule in the plant,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you got a cannabinoid, THC, THCN, different THCs, delta 9, delta 8. But this is a cannabinoid inside the plant. And so you've got, the hemp, basically hemp plant, you got the marijuana plant. They're cousins. Um, Hemp is the industrial one. Hemp is the one you grow outside. Hemp is the one that has, under 0.03% THC. It's got high in CBD molecule, but the purpose of it is for industrial. So building materials, wood, fiberglass, clothing, all the bioplastic stuff. That's all your hemp.
Mm-hmm.
And so in 2018, the government came to their senses on this and said, we need to make this legal because we need to, re-engage the hemp because, decades ago and all the way back in history, sales were made from, cannabis, right? So these things were all made for it wasn't until the last, 80, 90 years when it got, villainized and, you could debate why all of a sudden it became illegal. It was a threat to a lot of industry that did paper. There was a lot of industry that did cotton. It would just it would upset that infrastructure. So they made it illegal, do other types of things, power struggle type of thing. But so now it's legal and it has been for several years. And so it's this is what's cool about with us is that we get to overcome that. People say, oh well, that's a challenge, that's a barrier to entry because you have to um, always explain this hemp, cannabis, marijuana thing when you do it. And we're going to have a clinical study to actually prove that you take Agoge 3 times a day, you won't fail a drug test because our protein doesn't have any THC in it in the first place. But we'll still have a clinical study, which is going to be amazing. In addition to that, it's just one of those things where people they try it, they're gonna really excited about it, they're gonna love it, and it's gonna start to really change people's opinions on hemp. So now it's like, well, hemp is a boogeyman. I mean, just I got a stomach issue and I just had this amazing protein shake. I drink hemp every morning now because it's part of my morning routine. Next time someone mentions hemp, oh well, it's good for my stomach and my food. Now my mind is open. Maybe we should start using it for cups, right? Maybe we should start using it for bioplastics from hemps, right? Instead of from, petrol. So it's one of these things where I get to chase, this fun passion of mine in health and wellness and sustainability and open people's minds to hemp as a, major source of our renewable resources. And so that's what's so cool about being able to be a part of that side of the hemp.
I love it. I've personally always loved hemp seeds. I put hemp seeds in my salads, I put them into my smoothies. It was like this extra cool protein that I could actually consume, and all of a sudden it ended up everywhere. And so it's something that I've always been really familiar with. And I know that it's part of the wellness community and a lot of, vegans especially who are looking for alternative proteins will look specifically toward the nuts and the seeds and the things where we can get these varieties of proteins so that we get
People love
higher
ours
nutrition.
because each scoop of Agoge is a third of your daily iron need.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, let's talk a little more about the nutrients in this So you've got, obviously there's protein. How many grams of protein
Hmm.
per serving?
There's 15 in each serving, and
Okay.
the different colors or different flavors. So this is the vanilla. And so, you've got your whole, 80 calories in each one, and you're going to have 1 gram of fat, 3 grams in total carbohydrates. It's sugar free, so it's stevia, non GMO, organic. It's a really clean stuff from the actual plant, and you have a complete protein profile. So you can go to our
Nice.
website agoge.life and check it out. But it's a complete protein. Then it has every badge. I mean, if it was working at Fridays, it would have all the bling, right? It would have it all, right? So we got the organic, we got the allergen free, we got the gluten free, soy free, non GMO, vegan. Obviously nut free, shellfish free. It's
Yep.
it's the cleanest, right? And the scoop is even tiny. So if when people kind of fret on having to get a protein, I'm gonna have to drink this giant scoop. I mean, it's only one scoop because we don't put
Mhm.
all the fillers in there like everybody else does. We only have 5 ingredients,
Right.
and it mixes up really easy, even with water. People are like, "That's just with water," and it's just it can stir right up. Smells really good. Doesn't have that chalkiness. Doesn't make the no bubble guts. Because we only have 5 organic ingredients, everything USDA certified. It's just the cleanest protein. So um, it's just plus it's just very satiating because it's such a bioavailable protein. 97% hemp is. So it's a great little snack before workout, after workout, in between snack. It's just a great way to get your macros.
Yeah. So it's just protein mostly, right? So this isn't your meal replacement shake.
Mm-mm.
It's different
No,
than
no, only 80 calories. That's not much of a meal.
right?
Yep,
Yeah. So
yep.
this is more of a boost in your protein. So this is great for people who are doing weightlifting or yoga or any kind of like exercise beyond an hour. Your body
Totally.
needs extra protein in those situations. Absolutely.
It's good for it's
And
good for making things too, though. Like my cousins made waffles, pancakes. Then you mix
ah,
up in smoothies. You can make it into a kind of a smoothie and then freeze it and eat it like an ice cream or a frozen yogurt.
right on.
So
Okay.
I've heard of a lot of different things to do with it that you can mix it in. There's a lot of recipes online, but this way it's just it makes it up a little more fun to have a few different ways to consume it.
Yeah, that's cool. I have protein powder in my kitchen. I use it on a pretty regular basis. I probably do either a smoothie or an acai bowl or something blended at least once a week, usually twice or three times a week, because it you get such a boost of nutrition, and
You can
that
tell,
is
right? You can tell
powerful.
it's a good nutrition where you're like,
Yeah, exactly. So I'd love to hear a little bit more about the development of the product itself because this is something like why organic? I know why personally, but
hmm
I'd love for you to share why.
hmm
Why why only 5 ingredients? Why is it so simple? And why is that important?
hmm Yep. Yeah, this plan doesn't have to be complex, right, to be a good plan. And so, in my military background, I always try and keep things as simple as possible, not try and spread them out. I'm about bullet points, and and essentially it was like this: uh, hemp seed protein has not been done right yet. There's a massive opportunity to do it right. What does that entail? Well, we need to not just do the traditional hemp seed protein, where was the whole seed, because that makes it smell, taste, doesn't mix well. So what's the alternative to that? Well, you got to find an isolate. Okay, so who can do an isolate? Where can they produce it? Yada yada yada. So that's a whole thing. Then you get to that product, and then you got to make sure you try that product and it doesn't hurt your stomach, doesn't upset you, doesn't send you to the bathroom. You got to test that out. Hey, cool. Now we got this base. Then how can we blend it? How can we make it nutrition? How can we make it taste? No one's really made a hemp protein taste very good before. Usually it's because it's like, well, I'm just eating it. Or you just understand that you're eating a seed, just like you're eating a nut or something like this, right?
Yep.
But then there's this whole swath of people where they're used to having this, tastier, sweeter protein powder, right? It's hard to get them to kind of move over, and then doing it, you don't want, like, you were doing it for a good reason, right? Because we want to get people to eat healthier. We want to be better for the environment. So we're doing it organic. And the reason we're doing organic is that means that there's no of this pesticides being poured on the plant in the field, which goes into the soil, that goes into the water, that goes up into the earth, into the animals and the critters and everything else. And so when we stop doing that, the earth can eventually clean itself back up, right? So,
Mhm.
but we have to stop. And so by not bending to some of the price breaks we could have gotten by going non-organic, we held to our own, got the certification, did the whole bit. And we're very, very proud of that. This is literally the protein that could wind up replacing the GMO ridden not so good protein that's winding up in a lot of baby formulas. I think hemp, I talked to several moms who fed their children hemp milk when they were babies, and it's very strong, very, very healthy, all the good, essential amino acids and things like this. And so, back to hemp, it's up to four times, better bioremediation of the air than a hardwood forest. So if you have a strip of hemp, strip of, pine, strip of oak, this could be four times better at pulling CO2 out and letting O2 out for us to, for air. And
Oh,
so the more
yeah.
hemp we can grow, and it's a great bumper crop. So when you grow hemp, it really does aerate the soil. It's a natural herbicide because it's a weed. It's going to weed out everything else, and it leaves the soil better in a better situation for the next crop to come through. So
Nice.
we don't really have a decision here. I mean, this plant was here. It's for us. It's so industrious. I mean, we can grow so many things here. We can do so many things here. The byproduct of it is, a cleaner air and cleaner soil. And so the more innovation that we're seeing, we're up, we're in the running for a grant with the USDA that could be excellent. But they're really looking at these types of innovations. And so
Yeah.
the timing is great. So if you're looking at doing something like this, the plastics, the bioplastics could really need some innovation. There's a humongous opportunity to really nail that down. Whoever can would be sweet. We could benefit. We would love to make all of our packaging from hemp bioplastics. Tomorrow we just don't have the bandwidth to even go that direction. So,
Mhm.
but I think that our goal and our vision is eventually at each point of the supply chain, from the end to end, is all hemp, sustainable, carbon neutral, throughout the way. And so by each point of that, we can make that change. The bags, who's our carrier, what the material is, are going for that B Corp that we'd like to have eventually as well. So,
Nice. Yeah.
we're very excited about the future and the potential and the opportunity in hemp all at the same time. So, it's been a ride, and Agoge, is a Greek word for adapt and overcome. And so, 8 billion people in the world, we've got to find a sustainable way to, for building materials, for food, to help clean the environment at the same time. And all this can be accomplished with the hemp plant. So it's a cool intersection to be working at.
Beautiful. Such an inspiration. I absolutely love this. So, let's talk a little bit about what you're up to in Arizona. So, upcoming events, do you have places where you are regularly? Do you have like, farmers
Mhm.
markets, places that you always show up? And your future stuff just over the next couple weeks.
Yeah, over the next couple weeks, we're going to be at the Bouldering Project in Tempe. They have a vendor fair this April 17th, this Wednesday evening. This weekend, we'll be at the Mercantile Market in Scottsdale at the Civic Center this upcoming Saturday, the 20th. I think it's 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And then Sunday, we're going to be at two yoga events. One of them is look at my calendar real quick. We're going to be at the Buddha Bella Downtown Bazaar, and then also at the Foundry Yoga event. Foundry Yoga here in Scottsdale, Arizona. And then next weekend, we're going to be at the Fitness Fest 2024 in Phoenix. And then we'll be at the Foundry on the 27th. And all kind of stuff. If you go to our
Wonderful.
social media, agoge.life and Instagram, and our website, www.agoge.life, you'll see our events there and some of our blogs, but mainly it's Instagram. We post what the events we're going to be at.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. And is there anything else that you want to share?
We are super cool, and our protein looks awesome, and it's very, very tasty, and it comes in these awesome colors. And we're having a lot of fun, and we're based here in Arizona, and we're incubated at ASU through two of the incubators. We've won a pitch competition. We're really just now getting to market in January after taking several years of really taking our time to make sure the supply chain was built. We're built and ready for scale. We're looking for retail partners. And we'd love to have you, place a bag order. I'm a veteran, so it's a veteran company as well. So if you'd like to support us, order a bag of our protein at agoge.com, or excuse me, agoge.life, AGOGE, right there.
Mhm.
Life is our deal. And tell your friends if you got a food allergy, if they have a food allergy, or if they've just sworn off protein because it's been so gross. This is the protein that it should be like, and it'll change your mind completely on protein supplements. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Thank you, Justin. This was
You
so
got
much
it.
fun.
You got it.
Cool. Oh, I love it. I can't wait to share this.
All
And
right.
okay, final inspiration for this amazing Wellness Wednesdays community. There, I have 177 followers now.
Very cool. Very cool.
Final inspiration. Let's see. What do you do? What's your rhythm in the morning when you get up in the morning? What do you do in your healthy lifestyle? Because you're a very healthy human.
Yep. So my day doesn't usually start until I get into the sauna. So in the morning I wake up at 6, and I have to kind of get moving a little bit, and I get to the gym, and the first thing I do is I go into the sauna. The sauna's like, it says it's 180 in there. I don't think it's that hot, but it's pretty hot. But it's definitely, 140, 150. And I sit in there for about 15 minutes and then I stretch. And so stretch my back out, your blood pressure, your body starts recovering, to the heat. You start sweating, your heart rate goes up, you start burning calories, you start loosening up, the joints and the tendons. And so the biggest thing you don't ever want to do is get injured. People get injured and they're out for months. It can really mess you up. And so go in there, stretch out, get your heart rate up, and then do some weightlifting. And you get your heart rate up, you get all the good chemicals flowing in your brain, you're all the good, in your gut, and you can sort out a lot of problems, a lot of issues, a lot of challenges, a lot of ideas. You have a lot of clarity right at that time in the morning. Do that first thing in the morning, before I eat or anything. And so from then on out, the rest of my day is my metabolism is already fired up in gear. I've already solved a lot of the issues in my head, anything that's been on my mind. I've already had a good sweat. I've already had a good shower. And then after my workout, I do another 15 minutes of sauna. So it's almost a 2-hour morning routine because I usually work late in the night, and I can't plan anything at night. Usually at night I'm at hot yoga too. And if I work late, and I work after that too. But it's just one of those things where I love it and I enjoy it, and I don't know how I did without it, because now it's just one of those routines I look forward to. Some people are like, "Oh man, I got to go to the gym. I got to go to the gym." I love the gym. Like I love it. Like my favorite thing to do. Like I don't watch TV shows. I don't watch series. I don't have any, really outside hobbies besides my startup is gym and then hot yoga. I go to Core Power Hot Yoga and I absolutely love it. They have a class called Sculpt, and for me, it's probably the most challenging class you could take. It's hot yoga flow with weights in your hands, and so you're
Wow.
doing, you're doing, you're, you're doing that with, and then do reps, and so it's a workout. It's
Yeah.
like get close to the sun a little bit, but it's fabulous, and it keeps your stress level down, keeps you going, keeps you excited. And people always think, I don't have time, I don't have the energy to work out. When you start working out, you have way more energy. So then I work out 2 or 3 hours a day. That just gives me more and more energy. It's like fueling more and more and more. So once you figure that out, it's kind of like when you cross this threshold and you're like, wait a second, I have way more energy and I'm spending all this time working out. Wow. So now it's kind of like staying in that rhythm and realizing it's a lifestyle, and it's a blast. And so that's why it was so cool to be able to find and create a startup in that industry that
Yeah.
kind of puts it my Venn diagram all together. Yep.
That's awesome. I love it. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
And thanks again. I love this. I cannot wait to share this.
There you go.
I'm so elated. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. Have a
Well,
wonderful
take
day.
care. You too. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.